All right, Charlie. I told you I'd give you a rundown this weekend of my bug out or my bug out bag. This is a mixture of my camping bug out. This is a mixture of every day, so it's um, kind of in a little uproar right now. But so it's my We the People mug. What the bag that I choose to carry, I've gone to these large um, bags that you get at all the new modern stuff, and they just don't fit right. They don't wear right, and they just don't carry right for me and what I need plus what I'm used to. So what I do is I've reverted back to my military bag. This is a SF large ruck, and it it carries everything in here, including the kitchen sink. One of the things that I don't like about these newer bags that have um, the lumbar support belt and everything is I can't carry because that lumbar comes over my pistol, or it comes over. This is my fire kit and my knife. These are on me when I'm in the woods. These are on me all the time. I have fire kits in each bag, but I also have a fire kit on my person. So just in case I lose my bag, or if I'm doing a river crossing or something, or I've got my bag set up and it slips down a ravine or something, I always have a way to make fire. But one of the other things I didn't like about the bags is that they tend to sit up over your shoulder. So you have all this up here by your head, and if you have to run and lay down to get behind your weapon, that bag is up here on your head and you can't bring your head back. Whereas this, it sits. I can still reach my pistol. I can still reach my knife. I can still reach my fire kit. And it's safe. It's safe. If I need to, and I need to get back behind my bag, my head is where I can get down to it, and I can lay back and lay down and still be able to get behind the sights if I need to. So these are things to think about when you're looking at your bags and what you're going to be using them for. So this bag will carry every bit of this and then some. But I'm almost 60 years old now, so I got to rethink about a lot of my stuff. I've gone over from a lot of the military stuff to the civilian, super light and microweight stuff. But we'll go ahead and break down the bag. I'm going to show you what I have in here already. This stuff was in here. I just took it out to set it up. Now, one thing about your bag, when you're setting your bag up, you're going to want an extra set of clothes, underwear, socks, maybe an extra pair of pants, another shirt. I've got a sleeve shirt. I've got extra rain gear. The pants that I'm wearing now are the ones that I usually always take to the woods with me. These are the Duluth Dry on the Fly, and it's real lightweight material. It's kind of spandex, but it's real tough. It's got all the pockets, and if I get wet, it'll dry out really fast, really easy. So it's lightweight, and I can wear whatever underneath it. I lost my train of thought. Jacket, intermediate jacket, fleece. You want to run as much cotton, or not cotton, but wool as possible. Wool, even though it gets wet, it may get heavier, but it will maintain its warmth. Cotton has several uses, which I'm going to show you in the fire kits. Cotton, if I need to take a sleeve off, make some char cloth, I have the containers to do that, and I can take parts of the shirt or my shemagh or or my bandanas and make char cloth out of them if need be. So kind of lost my train of thought. I'll try to get back on track. Like I said, I've gone to a lot of the lightweight material because if I'm going to be humping, I'm gonna want to be able to carry as much as I can and still not be beat up. One thing I failed to mention in my get home bag in the other video is that in this bag, when we're set to go, I always have my deed to my house and at least $100 in small denominations set up in a plastic bag, and I use the food savers to suck it all out like a I can't want to say dehydrator, but like a
vacuum sealer.
But yeah, vacuum sealer, and it makes it smaller and takes up less room. The reason you want to keep your deed handy in a bug out situation is depends on what that situation is. You may get to come back to your house after a couple of months, a couple of weeks, a month, a year. You may have somebody that didn't go to a FEMA camp or go someplace and they took up homestead in your residence. Well, it's your word against theirs when things are back up and you need to get them out of the house. So if you have your deed, you have your paperwork for the house. This is my house and these guys are trespassing. Then you can get the local authorities to get them gone. The money, small denominations, at least a minimum of $100. The reason you do that is for the first couple of days, at least 3 to 4 days to a week, people are going to be uncertain on whether or not the grid's going to come back up. So money still might be, usable for the first couple of days to a week. So you got the small denominations, and you get them broken up in different pockets. You don't just pull out 100, big wad of money, and you still get robbed. So just break it down into small pieces, and you don't have the small bills to make change and barter with. So those are things to think about: bartering food, sugar, flour, stuff like that, if it's a long-term deal. So what I have in here is on the outside. This right here, I switch up this bottle and this bottle to that outer pocket. I just haven't replaced this one with this yet. But both of these contain the same deal. But I switch them back and forth. That's my day bag. If I'm going to the woods for a day or so, if I'm going on a hike, then that's my bag I take for the day, so I don't have to mess with none of this. But in this, I have a 20 ounce stainless steel bottle, and on the inside of that, I have it's a pot hanger. So you notice hang on, it's be easier to get out of this one. It's in this one. Never mind. Actually, I think it's on the inside of my bag on that one. And this is why I want to switch to that other bag, because that other bag is larger in diameter. But stainless steel cup, and the reason you run stainless steel over aluminum is that a lot of people, if you heat up aluminum, aluminum supposedly medically is not good for you, leads to Alzheimer's and stuff like that, but stainless steel is a lot better. And what this is, it hooks in these holes on the inside, and then I can hang this over the fire, put a rope on the end, then my tripod hanging over the fire to boil water or heat up some food. And the same with this one. And I can just put it right in the water if I need to boil water to sanitize it. So, because in the other video I said purify. You're never going to purify water unless you've got all the chemicals. You can only sanitize it and sterilize it. But this is called a nesting cup, where one sits inside the other, and you can put them in the fire. So it's something dual purpose. You can put them in the fire. You can cook your food in them, and you can carry water in it. So, but that's what those. And I've got the same thing and this one here. This is a cheaper knockoff of the Pathfinder. This came in the battle box, and this is your Pathfinder. You're gonna have I'm just not kicking for Pathfinder. I'm not making any money off of it or anything, but I think this is your better deal. You have a thicker wall. This is a little flimsier than this. With this one, you have this outer pocket, and in that outer pocket, I have another stove, like the one you saw in my bug out bag, or my bug in bag. I have another stove with the propane. And one thing I didn't cover, the reason I carry the stove with me, is that if you're trying to get home after a situation, and you have a need to be tactical, you don't want to be making a fire. They can see your smoke, they can smell it, and if you have one of these stoves, that'll get you where you need to go, heat water, or heat up your food and such, and you'll never have to, give your position away with making fire. But another thing, at the bottom of the bag, you have your cup, a strainer, and strain water if you got noodles, stuff like that. And these slits in here will allow you to use the pot hanger. So, just things to think about. One of the things I put on the outside, I have these carabiners, and these small carabiners. These are set so I can set up my tarp or set up a ridge line or something like that, and I will always have snap links at my disposal. On the other side, I have canteen, and again, like I did in the other one, I've got a canteen, stainless steel canteen cup on the inside. So another way to carry water, and another way to cook your food and such. On here, depending on your situation, this is emergency strobe. The battery, I don't have the battery put in all the way, so that way if it's not in, it's not connected, and you don't lose your battery strobe, or your battery power. So this you can put it on the end of a pole if you're trying to be found, if you're lost, if you're trying to bring somebody into your position, then you can bring that up. So that's pretty much that. On the top pocket, I usually keep my maps. I've got my bandanas, my handkerchiefs. They're all cotton, and we covered that in the other. You can strain water. If you're needing to get water from a stream or something, and you don't want any particles in your water from the stream, put this over it, put it in, it strains it out. Plus, it's cotton. If you cut yourself, you can use it as a cover. You can put it on your head, keep the sun off, and you can make char cloth. So, I have a Write in the Rain notepad that if this gets wet, I can still write with it. I have the pen here, and I have a refill for the pen. And what this is if something's going on and I'm needing to get to my bug out location, and I see something that I need to make notes on, I can put it all in here, and then when I get back to my location, I can tell my people, hey, this is what I saw, this is what happened here, there's a gas station here and there, if we need to go out and procure some items, so to speak. But I keep things that I need easily accessible in here. And some more of the gel packs for quick energy. And this is another water container, and you can You can clip it on. You can clip it onto your bag, carry your water, and just another way to make sure you've got water. But like I said, there's normally a few things I keep in here. I may keep a knife. I have a knife. I have a knife. I have a knife. And then always have an extra. And I always say how things will double up, do something extra. With this blade, I have this hole here. And that is set for my spindle. If I need to make fire the old-fashioned way with a bow drill, then I can take and put that spindle in here and run my bow, and I don't have to go out and start carving on something to make a spindle. And I've already got that, and I can use that as my bearing block against my spindle. So a hygiene kit. Now this bag, I've got field wipes, and if you've never used field wipes, I suggest you get them. These things are awesome. They're microbial. They take they're clean, and I forget where I was going with the microbial, but they're non-scented. They help keep you clean. They keep your scent down and so on. This is like a lip balm slash skincare. It's oil based, has some oil in it, and it's like chapstick. So you can take it apart, scrape it down, and put it on cotton, stuff like that, and to help catch fire. So dual purpose. Q-tips. You can use those to clean the gun, clean your ears. Toothpaste. And what I have is this is a mirror, a double-sided mirror. You can use it to shave, you can use it for signaling, you can use it to see around corners. And what I did was I just took two small mirrors, put them back to back, and then taped them together, and it works. Some lidocaine Salonpas for when you get sore, you pull muscle or something, you can slap that on there and keep going. And this is mesh, so you get something that's wet, you can it'll air out and it won't harbor any little critters. And I just realized that I'm missing my toothbrush. Now on the other end of this, microfiber towel. These things are like a chamois. They will dry you off really well, and you shake them, and they'll dry right out. You got your holes cut so you can hang it up to dry, and then you also have another hanger where you can hang it up. So that's that. And it doesn't take much to dry, and it'll dry you off really quick like. So that with the toiletries will keep up top. Like I said, I normally will keep maps in here, but those maps are in the truck. So we've got those there. Inner pocket, there's a large main compartment, and there's a pocket in here. This pocket was originally designed to throw in a radio, what they call a PRC-77. When I was in, we call it a Prick 77. You call it a few other names after humping a while. But in this is all my food. All my food, a lot of starches, a lot of freeze-dried stuff, matches, and first aid kit. First aid kit, set of shears, some Biazine, a snake bite kit, some moleskin, band-aids, and such. So, and all of that's right up top. And here's enough to sustain me for, I guess, about a week or so, week and a half, because all of those can be broken down into two or three smaller meals per. In the main compartment, again, I've got another hammock system. I have two hammocks, one with a mosquito net built in, which is the one that's in here, and the other one that I showed you, my get home bag, does not have a mosquito net. So this one is considerably larger because of the mosquito netting. But it's still, if I packed it down even more, would pack down very small with the mosquito net. This is an underquilt. For the winter months, the colder nights, this is a quilt that runs the full length of my hammock underneath. And what it does is it creates a pocket of warm air between the outside, myself, and the hammock. And that heat will rise up, help keep you warm at night. And this just, it's like a little boat, and your hammock sits down in it, and it ties on either end of your hammock. And it's called an underquilt. Again, it is a Yukon Outfitters, made right here in Tennessee, made in America. So, that. And I also have a mat. This is an inflatable. It's the Walmart special. You can buy them by Sealy and Posturepedic, stuff like that. Cost you an arm and a leg, but it'll keep you up off the ground. Keep you up. This right here, I think is $20-30 at Walmart. And it's a self-inflatable. And once it inflates itself, you can actually open this and blow on it to make it a little, inflate it a little more, or, a little firmer if you need it. And this is a Wooby. Keep another poncho liner in there. And this is all pretty much my base stuff. So, what was it that fell over here?
Nothing, it just...
Oh, okay. And here, again, the snap links. This is a strap system for my hammock. This is the tarp, the rain fly for my hammock. And this is an inflatable pillow for the hammock. And again, just as my bug-in bag, this is another one-man bivvy. I've used this off and on for 5-6 years now. And I used it for a week when we were up in Arkansas, going through, I can't remember the name of the survival school now. Anyway, we were there for a week in Arkansas, and that thing worked out. This is the sleeping bag. It's
Sigma 3?
Yeah, Sigma 3 survival school. Thank you, man. But this is rated for 5 degrees Celsius. It is a sleeping bag, and I've used this a couple of times since I got it, and it goes really well with the Wooby and sleeping on a cot. This when we were in Georgia, we weren't really roughing it, but we were sleeping in tents. And this is a sleeping bag, and it's that micro, not microfiber, but the micro weight and stuff. This is a sleep shirt. This is a military sleep shirt. Comes down and has the waffling on the inside, so it channels your body heat throughout your body where you're wearing it. It helps keep your core nice and warm. And it has the piece comes over the back of the hand with the thumb loops, so it keeps the hands, keeps everything flowing. So that's pretty much it for the sleep system. And as you can see, like I said, this will hold everything. So, and then another inflatable pillow. And then when you're packing it, you want to pack what you're going to use first. You want to pack it last. And what you're going to use last, you want to pack first. So it's the last thing out of your bag. So it's kind of a reverse thing. The pockets. Again, with the outer pockets, I keep all my utility stuff up here. String, rope. I have some small tent pegs. And this is a quick deployment Ridgeline. Both of these, I keep 2 of these in here. Those are for my tarps, for my tent. And what it does is all I have to do is pull on this. I have a loop at one end, and then I have 3 other loops that are set up on pressing knots. Excuse me. And all I have to do is just pull this, and this whole thing will start to unravel as I need it. So I don't have a bunch of rope in my hand trying to keep it straight up. This will unravel without any kinks. So these separate pieces here, once this Ridgeline is up, I'll have one on each end of my tarp, and I'll have this going through the eyelet on the tarp, so about that much sticks out. I could take a twig or a tent stake and stick through there and then pull it out to take the slack out of my Ridgeline. And what this will do is once there's pressure on it, it's a pressing knot. It's not going to give unless you take and pull it down yourself. So that's the ideal thing with the pressing knot. I have 2 of those set up, and there's a lot more rope in there than what I need, but I'd rather have more than not enough. Then I have this is bank line. I'll set this up with my snares or whatever utility stuff I need to do. This is tarred bank line. I forget the weight on it, but I bought this through a Dave Canterbury store, Self-Reliance Outfitters, and he uses this with a lot of his trapping and stuff. It's tarred, so it's waterproof, and it won't dry rot on you. So you can use this for your snares, your loops on your snares and stuff. So I keep all this stuff that I know I'm going to use a lot. I will keep it in these bags, in these outer pockets. Let's see. Anything I need that needs to be readily accessible, you keep on the outer pockets where you can get to them. The larger compartment, this is another tarp. This is another lightweight tarp. I think it's a 5x9, just lightweight tarp. Then I have more tent poles, pegs, and this right here will fit over my bag, and it's I guess you call it a rain fly, but what it does is it fits over my bag when it's going to rain, and it keeps the water from soaking into my bag. You notice I have these black bands on here. They're called Ranger bands, and a lot of stores will sell them in packs of 20 for $5-6. What I did, I made my own. I went to Walmart, bought me a bicycle tire inner tube, and I just cut me off sections, because that's all those Ranger bands are. So you can get a full-size tire inner tube for $3 or $4 as opposed to 10 of these small cut ones for $6-7. So just something to think about, and where you can multi-purpose stuff. And this stays in a pocket all by itself. Toilet paper. We've already discussed how great toilet paper is. Right? Okay. Lost my train of thought. But yeah, the outer pocket, the last pocket, bug spray. I run at least 40 deep. Also, I keep switching this back and forth between my bushcraft bag and this bag. This is a fire extinguisher. So if something happens, campfire, something catches fire, I've got a fire extinguisher. And then I've got a small camp light for the tent. You can take take that down and it'll light up the entire area, or you can focus it, cut that down and bring your light forward inside your tarp or your lean-to, however you're going to run it. Now I'll also have the light on my helmet or my my headgear, and that'll give me more light plus the flashlight that I'll be carrying on its own. That's it for this. There's several different places you can hang stuff. You can still run stuff over. I'm not gonna pack it up completely because I'm gonna show you a few things. Talking to you about my water system. This is the Katadyn, the Vario, and I have a backup system as well by Stereopin. Now this particular model, it has a charcoal filter, and it has a Jesus, I forget the name of it. But this is a filter also, ceramic. This is a ceramic filter. And what I can do is when this is in, I can take and turn this where this will say longer life. Well, what it will do is it will just filter through my charcoal and not my my ceramic filter. And then I can take and switch it over where it says fast flow. And with that fast flow, it will run strictly through my ceramic filter, and you'll get more water through the system. But it has a repair kit. It works on the pump, and you pump it through. This will run you roughly about 100, 120, 130 bucks. This is your inline. It fits on the bottom. Throw this in. You have this will keep your hose afloat while your siphon is under. You can run at different depths of the water depending on how bad the water is. You have this is your pickup line, and what this now I take that back. This is your pickup line, and this is your out tube. This piece right here. On my systems, I have a Camelback, and I have a quick detach, where I can just take and hook this into that quick detach on the bite valve, and I can pump the water straight out of the stream directly into my back my Camelback without having to take my pack off. So if I'm on the move, I got